Greetings, I'm Jen. Welcome to this short practice that's all about restoration, slowing down, drawing inward, de-stressing. Just a short practice offering for you today where the invitation will be for you to be on your back the entire time. I'm going to have a blanket that I might access for a couple of our final shapes. And if you do have the ability to be near a wall or the edge of a dresser or a couch, you could certainly take some of those final shapes with the support of a wall or something similar. So with all of that said, I am going to start some music and I invite you to come then to your back. There is no rush, however, as you start to make your way to making this opportunity for your body today, giving yourself a few moments to arrive and to settle in, to make that connection to maybe your yoga mat or maybe just the carpet, the floor, wherever it is that you are in your space and in your body today. And taking some time to simply land in a position on your back, maybe in stillness, maybe with some little movements in your body and seeing how it feels at first to welcome in the idea of being held. So here we are with our body connected to the ground in some way. Maybe the feet are planted, maybe the legs extend long. But no matter where you're choosing to create this shape right now on your back, you are being held by the earth, by the ground. So maybe allow yourself to scan and soften a little bit more deeply as you exhale into those points where your body is being supported. Back of the head, shoulders, maybe across your hips or back. And as you connect into the physical body, to that idea of letting go in your body, maybe your mind starts to soften as well. And I'd invite you to draw some attention to your breath right away. And I'm going to make a connection just for some rhythmic kind of wave movements here of using inhales and exhales alongside bent knees and swaying legs. And I'm actually going to reposition my body just for a different visual, but allowing this to be almost a windshield wiper type swaying of the legs. Your arms can be resting wherever it feels best. Maybe you like them out a little bit wider or closer to your body. Seeing if you can make some sort of connection with your inhales and exhales in partnership with the movement you're finding right now. And letting that kind of wave sensation of movement with breath, let that almost be a melodic way of starting to calm our mind even more. Allowing yourself to empty a bit more deeply into any thoughts of your day, any mind chatter, simply focusing on inhales and exhales. And then we will eventually pause. You can pause with the knees bent. You could extend the legs long. I'm going to keep my knees bent, feet pretty wide. Take an inhale to open your arms out to the sides like a T, a big stretch. And as you exhale, cross your arms with your right arm above your left. So your right arm is closer to your face. Rest your hands on your shoulders. Press down, shoulders away from your ears. So giving a press of your hands into your shoulders to feel your neck lengthen, your shoulders and ears draw apart. And then maybe you tilt your left ear toward the ground. Come back to center. Tilt your right ear toward the ground. Come back to center. Maybe you tilt and pick up your head to tilt your right ear toward your right shoulder and your left ear toward your left shoulder. So giving you a few moments here to move through the head and the neck, keeping that constant kind of press of your hands again to feel this length and drawing away from that shrugging that we might have felt in the shoulders today. And then whenever you feel ready with your head gaze straight up, take a big breath in, open. As you exhale, keep your arms out wide, but bring your knees to gently touch toward one another. It's called constructed rest. So this little position where you might feel a gentle stretch across your lower back and hips, you could widen the feet to feel a little more, bring them a little closer to feel a little more care for the lower back. Just give this a breath or two. Maybe hands rest on your body for a moment to draw that connection back in toward inhales and exhales. And then I'm going to use an inhale to open my arms and bring my knees back apart, just stacked straight up. And as you exhale next, then cross your arms again, this time left arm over right, hands on shoulders. Pressing hands into shoulders. You might find just this alone creates some different sensation depending on imbalances in your tension. And then again, maybe you find some movement in your head. tilting an ear toward the ground or tilting an ear toward your shoulder, being mindful of just needing to pick up your head to shift that position depending on what your head is against. If it's like on a yoga mat, you might have to pick up your head. Take a few more rounds of breath. Can you keep your focus here, even with these subtle, tiny movements, noticing the littlest sensation or maybe something bigger and more dramatic that you're looking to release? And then as you're ready, take a big opening again. As you exhale, I'm going to just hug my legs up, gentle grab of backs of thighs or shins. Rock yourself a bit side to side, giving your lower back a bit of a massage and a thank you. And then from here, we'll take a moment to explore our hamstrings, thank the back of our body for support from the day. So I'm going to set my left foot down, keep my right knee in, and I'm going to take a few extensions and bends of the right leg, just working through the knee, releasing out anything that might feel stuck. And I hope you feel a little kind of lengthening in the back of the thigh. I'm not locking out my knee. I'm sending my energy toward the ceiling with my right heel. And then perhaps you stay for a few breaths. I do have a connection of fingertips above and below the right knee. I'm keeping my right hip really rooted down. I'm going to turn back to be sideways with you for visual. Give a big breath into length, a breath out to soften. Maybe one more. Breath in for length, exhale to soften. And then as you feel ready, returning your right foot down to eventually then pause and start to hug the left knee in. And again, could be that bit of flow as you start. So inhales to lengthen, exhales to bend, feeling some movement, working out anything that might feel stuck across the knee. And then eventually, if you'd like to, take some time to pause and extend, not locking the knee, and I'm just giving gentle support with my fingertips. I'm not really pulling and tugging. We haven't really warmed for deep, intense stretching, but feeling this idea again of length. With the full support of your back on the mat, give a nice breath into what you are feeling and a breath out, and then we'll set the left foot back down. We're going to find a figure four shape with the option of putting this figure four against a wall. So if you're near a wall, you'll want to have your hips a little bit further from it, and I'll show that on the wall in a moment. But let's, from knees bent, bring right ankle onto left thigh. So herein lies your figure four shape, and there can be any number of things that you do with this. You could give a gentle press into your right leg. You might find you want to sway this a little bit to feel some stretch. You might actually pick up the legs. I wouldn't, again, grab and pull too much. This can be a really lovely, intense stretch, but we haven't warmed in such a way to do that much intensity. But rather, if you lift the legs, maybe letting the legs take the shape all on its own. Now, you could position that left foot against a wall. So I'm just going to reposition my body to give you that visual. So again, you do need to have your hips a bit away, but pressing your left foot against a wall or a couch or a dresser and finding your figure four elevate in this way. So there's a gentle sense of pressing your foot to the wall as you press your back into the ground, that you can feel maybe a nice stretch in your right side. This is a great position to help release any stresses from sciatica, things for your lower back. But with that little gentle touch point of left foot, feeling a bit more connected, centered, grounded, and that press to enhance that long sense of your spine. When you are ready, we'll release this out. So that may mean setting the left foot down and uncrossing the legs. I'm going to pause in stillness for a moment to feel my back reset. You could find a little gentle sway of the body. And then we'll find figure four the other way, knowing you can make a different choice in how this comes in. So left ankle on right thigh, the right foot can fully stay connected to the ground. You might find a lot with simply the shape. There's a lot of power in just this structure of a shape. You might lift the legs. You might find, again, with that supportive wall, couch, or dresser, that your right foot connects. And ideally, your right foot is sort of straight from the knee to press into the wall, that we don't want it too high above or below. But just gauge how things feel in your body. You are your best guide when it comes to taking in a shape and feeling where the sensation is, allowing yourself to send some breath into what you're noticing. Take a few more moments to be in your figure four on this side, whatever that is on this side. Taking a few more breaths to soften where your body responds as we stay and we hold and we linger. Let your body settle into just that idea. And then again, we'll release and unwind and replant. Maybe you pause for a breath or two to let the spine reset. I really like to do that in my body. Just feel everything kind of go back to neutral. You could give yourself again another gentle hug. And I'll offer you a few moments in legs up the wall. Now, this can be done against a wall. And if you do so, you might want to bring your hip kind of sideways really close to the wall first, and then allow yourself to lie down and kind of pivot and spin. Getting your hips as close as feels okay for your hamstrings. You can do this free floating. You don't need a wall or a couch as I reposition myself here. I like to put either a blanket under the small of my back or maybe kind of a diamond shape of your hands to give a slight support at the small of your back, and you can simply have the legs float. And the hope is, especially if you close your eyes, if your legs are not against a wall, that you might still be able to get to that point where it feels as though the legs aren't really there, that we get that sweet spot where they're hovering, they're lifting. We're not energizing or looking to powerfully stretch. You could even have bent knees over the edge of a chair or a couch, so the legs don't have to be fully extended, though there's benefit in this distance, right? We have created this upside down sensation in the body. So the farther the feet are from the heart, the more we're creating this really powerful, dramatic flow of blood toward the heart and the brain. Seeing if you can feel and take in that sensation of just that, feeling blood moving through the heart, feeling shifts in your mind physically and maybe otherwise as you linger here. Please feel free to stay in this legs up the wall as long as you like. I will start to close my time with you, knowing that you have this time and space now to stay here, to pause, to hopefully take in some additional quiet moments all to yourself. I will guide you out of legs up the wall if that feels like you're ready to come out. If you're free floating with legs, let them start to soften. Maybe you curl up the tailbone to take out anything that may have been supporting you and lower the legs down. If you're coming off the wall, again, very carefully rolling to one side and helping yourself guide away. Take a moment to land out of your legs up the wall if you have done so, to find any other movements, wiggles, maybe a stretch of your body, and see how it feels to pause and rest, whatever that means for your body. Legs extended long, arms at your sides, knees staying bent. Maybe you return to a touch point of hands on your body to reconnect to your breathing. Give yourself a moment again to notice. Simply notice, how are you here? How do you feel in this moment? My wish for you is extended time to stay right here, to linger, to pause, to simply breathe and be. I appreciate you making time for your body, for your mind, for inviting me into your space, sending wishes of peace and ease. Namaste.